Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's welcome in the head coach of the 4-0 Ganado Indians. We are pleased to be joined by Coach Josh Ervin. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. How are things in beautiful Ganado, Texas?
They're great. Weather outside is great today, and just getting ready to go play some sub-varsity football tonight in Shiner.
Now that sounds like a time. I'm telling you, big doings down there. Let me ask you about this 4-0 start. You guys are off to a 4-0 start for the first time in quite a while, about a decade. From your perspective, kind of starting whenever you were looking at the schedule and looking at your team, did you anticipate being 4-0 at this moment?
Yes, sir. So we actually did. We did anticipate it. The kids set out a goal to go undefeated pre-district, and they went out and achieved it.
One of the big reasons you guys have been so successful to start the year is your defense. This defense has been very strong, going up against some relatively high-powered attacks and holding them in check. From your perspective, what has been the real key for you guys defensively to be off to this hot start?
So the biggest key, I think, we hired new coaches that planning and the kids, they're executing it to perfection. The physicality this year is better than it has been, and they're just flying around to the football, having fun doing it.
You're a guy who's you were promoted from the offensive coordinator position, in the offseason to take over as if your first head coaching job. You're 4 games in, and you're, I suppose, about 9 months in to the new gig. What do you've been around the program and you've been an assistant coach for a minute, but what do you know now about this job and being the head football coach that maybe you didn't know when you took the job back in January?
It's definitely never ending. There's always something new, which makes it a lot of fun. But, a big part of it, I'm blessed to be here in Ganado. I truly am. We have great kids, great community, great coaching staff, great administration, great teachers, and it's a blessing every day to come to work and get to work with everyone.
Talking with Josh Ervin, the head coach of the Ganado Indians here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, Coach, one guy that I certainly want to ask you about is your QB1, Kyle Burris-Guerrero, who has been really strong to start the year. He's a name that we knew, last year, a guy that we've known has been a playmaker, for the course of his high school football career, now a senior. The numbers are impressive. The film is impressive. But as the guy who's been his offensive coordinator and as the guy who is now his head coach and who's seen him kind of grow, what is it about your QB1 that really sets him apart?
The biggest thing is his leadership, work ethic, his winning mentality. It's been really, really cool to see him progress from his 8th grade year when I first got here to now as a senior. Everything that he's accomplished and the way that he's matured over the years. Both athletically and then academically and mentally as well. It's been fun to watch him mature.
We mentioned Burris-Guerrero, and yet at the same time, he's a senior and he's obviously so important to what you guys do. And yet I look up and down your roster and you've got a lot of youngsters. A lot. I mean, you're rolling some freshmen out there. Your leading receiver, Kane Hayden is a sophomore. Your second lead, your non-Burris-Guerrero leading rusher, and Vince Sabaltura is a junior. Have these young guys exceeded your expectations to start the year?
No, sir. I don't think they've exceeded my expectations. They're doing exactly kind of what we thought that they were going to do. We've been with them since they were 7th graders. They have a lot of talent. It's a really good class, that sophomore class. There's some juniors too, and there's even some freshmen that are making a big impact on the varsity level this year. Ganado has great kids right now all the way through, even down in the junior high. There's going to be kids next year that I think make an impact at the varsity level that are going to be coming up as freshmen next year. They get after it and they believe, and it's kind of our program's mentality is that it doesn't matter how big, fast, strong you are or what your age is. If you can play, you're going to go out there and be able to play and help our team win on Friday nights.
Josh Ervin, the head coach of Ganado here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, Coach, I want to go back a couple of weeks, and I want to go back to the win you guys had on the road. I believe it was on the road. Let me make sure I got this right. Against East Bernard. This was obviously this is an East Bernard team that you guys are pretty familiar with. You play them pretty regularly. I'm sorry, this game was at home for you guys. And you guys were able to snap a 4-game losing streak to these guys. They kind of had your number the past couple of years. They're bigger than you guys, and yet you guys were able to go out there and get the win in a narrow way. What was the kind of feeling around the program, around the locker room after that win? Was that kind of an inflection point for the team so far this year?
Yes, sir. I definitely think there was a lot of positivity after the game. There's been kids that haven't had success against that program in the past, and we know it's a new team, right? It's 2022. Mm-hmm. It's not 2021 or 2020 or 2019 or any of those years past. It's a brand new year, but seeing them have success for the first time in a long time against them, and just everything that we've been preaching, everything that they've been working for, them realizing the after effect of it and coming out with a positive result. It was a big part of it. And then the adversity that they fought through during the game. We had the lead. We fumbled in the first half. They took the lead going into halftime, but the kids fought their way back, and it was a great second half. It was a great game by East Bernard, great game by our kids, and it's something that we'll never forget.
Tomorrow night, you guys certainly get quite a district opener. Number 4 team in the state, the Shiner Comanches, the 2-time defending state champs, rolling to Indian Stadium there at 7:30 p.m. there on East Devers Avenue in Ganado. I know you've been game planning. I know you've been in the lab putting together the perfect plan to stop the Comanches. I don't want to ask you to give it away here, but at the same time, whenever you look at what you're up against next tomorrow, what do you think are going to be the keys for you guys to get the win?
The keys is all going to start defensively, and that's kind of our mantra. I think that probably everyone playing Texas high school football or high school football in general, you got to be able to stop the run. They have a great running back. A couple great running backs. They have a great quarterback that runs also. So we're going to have to be able to stop them from breaking away on long plays. And then offensively, we just got to stay on the field and keep the ball moving. We're excited about the challenge and the opportunity that we're going to be presented with tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it.
One last question for Josh Ervin, the head coach at Ganado here on Texas Football Today. Coach, I've been with Dave Campbell's Texas Football since 2011. That's when I joined here. And so my first magazine was the 2011 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, this one right here, featuring Jonathan Gray and Cyrus Gray. I'm just going to flip to a random page here because you're a young man, correct?
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
You're 28. You're 28. You got your head coaching job there at on your birthday back in January.
Yes,
and so I'm turning to page 259. I've got the Bay City Black Cats here. And other prospects were listing quarterback Joshua Ervin, Irvin. And so, Coach, on behalf of Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Really just you.
I was not the managing editor at the time. I was an assistant editor. I would like to apologize for misspelling your name in the magazine 11 years ago.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It actually happens more frequently than you'd think. But it's all good.
Did we get it right when we listed him as the coach this year?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't even check. We better have. If we didn't, Steph is supposed to be fact checking that, so I can blame Matt Steph if we didn't. But I'm fairly certain we did. Yeah. So I don't know. I saw that because I was doing some research before this, and I was like, oh no.
He looked straight at me and he goes, "Oh my God, we spelt it wrong."
I have to, and this is, and because there are times, we don't get a ton of coaches under 30 here, and so at the same time, I don't have an opportunity to apologize to coaches for things that I'm theoretically responsible for. So, I'm sorry, Coach, and I hope that you and your family can forgive me.
Oh yes, sir. Nah, it's nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing big at all.
He's Josh Ervin. He's the head coach of the Ganado Indians. They welcome in the number 4 Shiner Comanches tomorrow night there in Ganado, 7:30 p.m. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the fantastic start, and go get them tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You too. There he goes, Josh Ervin, head coach. Ervin.